Okay, I know what y'all are gonna say. It is December 31st. I have owed y'all two last final reviews between Countdown to Christmas and Miracles of Christmas since last week. But if nobody didn't tell you, it is Christmas until Hallmark says it's not. So they start like mid-October and they don't stop the Christmas movies until somewhere in the beginning of the new year, okay? So it's still Christmas over on Hallmark and Hallmark Mystery. Therefore, I am right on time. And if you want to know where I've been moisturizing, taking my vitamin D, resting, doing all the things that I didn't do in 2024. I was trying to get right in the Christmas season. Anyway, as promised from my earlier TikTok, I am going to deliver those two reviews before we end 2024. My bad for anybody who really looks forward to these. I'm doing the best I can. All right, coming up, Trading Up Christmas, starring Italia Ricci and Michael Xavier. It was the final Thursday night movie on Hallmark Mystery, and baby, they saved one of the best for last. I absolutely love Trading Up Christmas. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. I think that the two leads had immense chemistry. And I'm going to go as far as and say that this is one of the very few Christmas movies that actually embodied the spirit of community and Christmas and family and friendship all in one. Okay? All in one. So over on Miracles of Christmas, aka Hallmark Mystery, I think Trading Up Christmas and the reason for the season were the two knockout movies this year. If you missed any one of those two movies, you need to go see The Reason for the Season and Trading Up Christmas. Now, Trading Up Christmas just premiered on Countdown to Christmas this past Sunday. Now, I watched some of the comments on the Hallmark Facebook page, and I'm just going to say some of you guys need to figure out why you would get 30 minutes in this movie and shut it off. Could it be that there's a biracial couple going on? Is that what's happening here? I'm not sure, but it can't be because of the message. Let's get into the premise of this, okay? The premise of this is Michelle, who loves her sister Carrie and her niece Rosie so much, is so saddened that they are in need of a new home in the new year. Carrie says that since her divorce, things have been hard, and even though Michelle found her last, child, I feel like this about my little tripod has had it. It said 2024 put me through it. Anyway, it looked like it was about to drop. So, Carrie says ever since her divorce, she's been trying to give Rosie, her daughter, stability, and Michelle, her sister, is always kind of trying to jump in and save them. But this time they need a home. They don't even want to be in an apartment. They want to be out in a home for the new year. Michelle sees the problem, and because she's the optimist of her family, she decides that she's going to find a way to get Carrie and Rosie their house. Michelle reads about a boy that ends up trading for a home. And, she tells her sister this story, and her sister says it's impossible. And Michelle said, well, just let me try. Like, in the spirit of Christmas, just let me try. And if I fail, then whatever. But if I succeed, you and Rosie will have a new house. Now, unbeknownst to Michelle, Carrie already kind of feels like she's a failing mom and that her baby sister is always trying to swoop in and save her. And so she really doesn't want Michelle's help, but then she tells Michelle, you can go on this pursuit, but the one thing you need to do for me is keep Rosie and I anonymous as you're going to trade for a house. Okay. In the meantime, Dan is a reporter who doesn't really do Christmas stories, but he's been assigned to a Christmas story, and his boss tells him, his editor tells him he's got to get it done, and it's got to be something meaningful. And the editor sees this little blurb about a woman, a post on social media. I'm telling you, social media is so powerful. A post about social media where she's saying she's willing to trade a stocking that's been passed down in her family for something else. And she's put out there that she is hoping to make her final trade will be for a home. Okay? Dan reluctantly covers the story, and then he meets up with Michelle and ends up being the first person to trade with her. He brings in this ugly sweater that he received at work for their ugly sweater party, and he gives it to Michelle for her stocking, her family stocking. Once Michelle finds out Dan is a reporter, she literally says to him, you know what? I am going to succeed. I'm going to trade and get a house for my sister and niece. So he does know who it's for. And he does know that she does want it to be anonymous. And then she tells him not only is she's going to get the house, but she's going to get her family stocking back, because the whole point of trading is you're trading something of value for yourself. Now, I get what you're thinking. Financial value, any kind of value. It could be financial, it could be emotional. Anyway, they trade, and Dan's editor decides that he needs to still keep following this story and see where it goes. Can Michelle keep trading until she gets a house, right? And so Dan is also getting pressure from his editor to find out who Michelle is trading, who she wants to get this house for. But Dan lets it be known that it must be anonymous. He gets whisked off. He meets Michelle. He meets Carrie. He meets Rosie. He meets their father. And he realizes this is a wonderful family. They're starting to show him the spirit of Christmas, and he could easily see that Michelle has a huge heart. Okay? In the meantime, he lives in the same town as his brother, who is a very famous realtor. And, Michelle says, can your brother help us in any kind of way? And Dan says, I haven't talked to my brother in God knows when, maybe over a year. And I moved here to be closer to him. But when our mother died, we fought over money. Money's all that matters to him. And Michelle encouraged Dan to reach out to his brother and rekindle their family ship during this season. Dan does that, and it becomes something very successful for him. He's happy to have his brother, and even though they get bumps and scrapes in the road, he is happy to have his family back, because that's really the only family. They only have each other. Dan and Michelle are also starting to fall for each other, but Michelle is seeing the red flags. Like, Dan has never been in a serious relationship. He doesn't date anyone past 6 months. Girl, I would have ran too. He has a very, pessimistic / realist way of looking at life. She's an optimist. Her optimism at first seems like a negative to Dan, but as he starts to see things through her eyes, he realizes that tis the season for love, family, and for miracles. The two of them team up together, and they trade and they trade. They get things like a Santa Claus, an electric Santa Claus that needs to be fixed up. They get like a ski mower type of thing. Then they get a trip to Hawaii. And then that trip was worth, along with a boat, was worth a house. So Michelle does finally reach her goal and trades for a house for her sister Carrie and her granddaughter Rosie. There were some bumps in the roads. There were some times she didn't think she was going to make it. Okay, never could have made it, Lord, without you. Okay, but they do it. To me, Trading Up Christmas is a success. One of the best movies I've seen on Miracles of Christmas and Hallmark Mystery this 2024 season. It's still on my DVR. It's something I plan on rewatching. I thought the immense chemistry between the two leads was so hot and spicy, along with understanding that the main storyline is about doing something wonderful for people in your life in the Christmas season. And Michelle, Dan, Carrie, Rosie, their whole story inspires the whole town to start to trade things that are important to them in order to bring a little more Christmas joy to everybody around them. Okay, Trading Up Christmas, I'm telling y'all, it's a 9 out of 10. Don't listen to the people who get caught up in the races of the two leads. You need to go ahead and watch this. You need to go lock this in. And like I said, Hallmark is still showing Christmas movies. It's still Christmas for them, okay? So you guys go check this out and let me know what you think. Okay, I owe you guys one more review, and we can finally wrap up this countdown to Christmas, Miracles of Christmas 2024 season.